The Top Sports. My name is Adrian Gonzalez, and to my right we have Big Josh House, and right across from him we have the Big Cheeto, Brian Balcedo. How you gentlemen doing tonight?
Feeling pretty damn good now that I hear Jose Aldo does not have broken ribs.
Yeah, man. It's a nice night outside here. Summer's starting. Life is good.
What do you think's more bruised, his ego or his rib?
Well, the reports of him crying for 2 days are kind of funny.
So somebody mentioned something about he might not fight. What's the whole story?
There was a day, about a day and a half ago now. It's a rumor leaked from his camp that he had a broken, fractured rib, and he was going to be out of the fight. He was going to be forced to pull out, and it could be out till October. So the MMA world was going crazy. Everybody wants to see this fight. Frankie Edgar, there's a couple other guys, Chad Mendez, people were talking about. And so today the UFC had doctors examine Jose Aldo. He does not have fractured. He has a bruised ribs with some cartilage damage. So he technically can fight. He says he's going to fight. But, we'll see what happens. They put Chad Mendez as the reserve right now. If Aldo pulls out, that's who he's going to fight, Chad Mendez, which a wrestler, be an interesting matchup, but nothing like the hype train that we've all been waiting to see.
Oh, I would have been totally disappointed. But I believe Aldo is going to fight. I believe Connor's going to now aim for that rib because there's no way it's going to be completely healed by July 11th. So work the ribs, Connor.
Yeah, is that like, you're playing football and your opponent has a bad ankle, you step on his foot, stuff like that? Are we talking about the same thing in this sport? Are you going to just target that and just continue to pound on him?
I mean, a couple fighters made a good comment that he's now he's not going to be able to train for the next 2.5 weeks and then just go into the fight. That doesn't sound like something that you want to have happen for the biggest fight of your life.
Right.
Now, with these tiers, do you think Conor McGregor's gotten into the head of Jose Aldo Jr.?
I mean, we're talking about a quote here that's pretty funny that he dropped on him. So, Josh, what was that quote that he dropped on him?
Well, when Conor found out that he did not have a broken rib today, his quote was, turns out he just had a little period pain.
Ouch.
So,
Ouch.
that
Who
time
knows?
of the month.
He speaks a different dialect of English. Maybe period pain means rib.
It could.
It's
Yeah,
just period pain. My daddy used to tickle me on my period all the time as a child.
Rub some dirt on it, sissy boy. Get in there.
I mean, when you get shot up with cortisone maybe there, just go tough it out. I mean, so Donald Cerrone did the exact same. Donald Cerrone a couple weeks ago fought on 13 days rest, and he had a broken rib going into the fight. I'm 99% sure of that is what I've heard. And so, it can definitely be done successfully.
Yeah, but Donald Cerrone would fight like on 2 days rest.
There's a reason he's called Cowboy,
a limb missing.
I'm pumped for this fight, but I'm kind of now it's an excuse for Aldo if he loses, which I don't want at all. Now, a lot of people don't think that it's not going to matter. Aldo's going to run right through McGregor. I'm just not one of those people. I think McGregor is doing some things, and he's going to give Aldo everything he can handle.
So setting the stage for everybody, this fight is
July 11th.
July 11th.
In Vegas, it's going to be one of the biggest fights in the history of MMA. They're expecting over 1 million buys on pay-per-view. With Ireland, Brazil, the country, I expect it to go bigger than that. I mean, it could double that. I think the biggest fight ever, just because of the pride and the Muhammad Ali like trash talking that Connor's been coming out with.
And he added some more tonight. That's for sure.
More fuel to the fire.
Absolutely.
I love it. We haven't heard anything from Aldo personally since this all broke, which is kind of interesting to me. And that is another reason why I think the fight somehow is going to be off and he's going to fight Mendez.
Maybe it was hard to...
I don't want that to happen. I want him to fight. It's
hard for him to talk through the tears of his crying the last couple of days,
Yeah, I mean, imagine not knowing you're not going to be 100%.
Absolutely.
You're still expected to fight as a champ. You're supposed to fight through the pain, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of pressure on Jose Aldo right now. I can't wait for this, to find out what the hell is going to happen.
So our show last week got me, and thanks to Mr. Gonzalez pointing it out to me on Friday night when there was nothing else on TV, that Kimbo was fighting. So I ended up watching Kimbo and Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, it was so short. I saw it on YouTube like right after I missed it.
It was a short fight, but there was some power in that fight too.
Everyone that I watched it with was jumping up and down once it started going. It was I thought
I've never seen someone survive a rear naked choke like that.
to me, it looked like Kimbo started to tap at least once, if not twice.
Yeah,
and,
I thought so
and
too.
then somehow it seems like Shamrock just kind of slipped his grip, let it go a little bit, burned his arms out, however you want to say.
And
I mean,
that's
Joe Rogan,
exactly what Shamrock said.
a lot of people were saying that it looked fixed. Joe Rogan was saying that, and some other people saying that, it's not a UFC
So
event.
if,
They're always
if
going to
you
talk
were
trash.
gonna if you were gonna be part of something that was fixed, would it be something where somebody crushes you with the blows he hit him with in the face?
Everyone knew that it was going to finish in a submission by Shamrock or a KO by a Kimbo Slice.
Right.
Oh, there's no way it was going to the third.
Right. As soon as there was an opening, Kimbo jumped on that and put him down.
That was, an impact punch. You saw that, and you just saw Ken did not want anything to do with him as soon as he stood up. You could see he started getting away from him, and he got cracked once, and then it was just lights out.
If you make someone the size of Ken Shamrock fly 3 feet backwards off in the air, you can't fake that.
I'm interested to see Ken Shamrock's test results from that. I'm amazed that he passed it cleanly.
Right.
He's at 51 looking like he's been on some stuff.
Cleanly.
Well, they let him fight, and he has to go through the commission, so somehow he was able to pass.
Yeah. Kimbo opened a nice divot over his left eyebrow, too. That was a big shot.
That was a big cut.
Yeah, it was. It was.
What else? You saw the fight before that. It was pretty decent. Like, it was for a decent card for a non-UFC fight.
Yeah.
It had some excitement on it.
As somebody who doesn't normally watch it, it held my interest through the entire card.
Oh,
so it was good.
I forget his name right now, but the brother who had the crazy hair was exciting to watch. Then my bad, I'm not going to his name right now.
The fight directly before it, I'm drawing a blank on the names too, but the guy was bleeding all over the place in that fight, and then he turned it around and turned it into an armbar submission. It was pretty good fight to watch.
All right. Also, this weekend we had Joanna Jezurek. We'll say her name for lack of knowing how to say it properly. Defending her belt for the first time at strawweight 125. The first time a female other than Ronda Rousey, I think, has headlined a fight and had a championship fight headlining it, is on the Fight Pass. And like we called last week, Joanna Jezurek absolutely obliterated this girl's face and just dominated her.
We have an opportunity here to start some trends, and we got to start thinking of some nicknames for her because Ronda's got rowdy. I want to start calling her Mini Beast.
I mean,
she's tiny, but she will just rip through anybody who's in front of her.
Joanna's takedown defense is unbelievable, and she's a 6-time Muay Thai world champion. You cannot stand with her if you are in the same weight class with her. Ronda Rousey, I don't think, would really want to stand with her. She's unbelievably talented at striking. Her elbows and hands are just brutal.
The highlights you showed me, she's quick.
Dude, she's a little Mike Tyson. I mean, she might have the same power, but she'll wear you down, and she's just evil. She enjoys it, and she talks trash. I like her.
She injured her hand in her last fight.
She broke it, yeah.
Yeah, and a fan shook her hand at the end.
Grabbed it, yeah. She got pissed.
And so if I ever see her, I'm like, can I shake your hand? Because I don't want you to react and beat my ass in front of everyone.
Right.
Also, real quick, for that fight, we got Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald on that next headlining fight with. I don't know. You guys know those guys? Are you guys familiar with them?
Absolutely.
Obviously, who do you got in that fight?
I don't know. I think it's a pretty close one. I think whoever controls the takedowns will probably.
Robbie's been getting so good. Rory is a very technical fighter, but I just don't think he'll be able to deal with Robbie Lawler's power. I think Robbie will catch him and put him to sleep. So I'm excited for those fights coming up here. I know it's a couple weeks away still, but I'm that pumped up about these. So.
Nice.
All right, moving along here. Let's get on to the NBA draft, which is happening tomorrow.
Yeah, it's jumping off tomorrow. Locally, Lakers have the number 2 pick, and they're embroiled in a bunch of rumors about that 2 pick. And the Clippers have no picks in the draft. They're the only team in the NBA with no picks in the 2-round draft. So what do you guys think on that 2 pick?
I mean, I'm slightly moving off my love for Jahlil Okafor and thinking more about D'Angelo Russell with it's a guard-dominated league. He's got a lot of upside. I mean, it's up in the air. Who takes the first pick? Who goes in the first round? I mean, the first pick overall.
Yep.
Who the Lakers are going to trade for?
I know Okafor's got bad defense, especially for the NBA, but I think when you go to the NBA, you're going to have to change your whole game plan anyways. I mean, look at what's his name? big curly hair guy, sat on the bench this year for Cavaliers. Played for
Verjo. Verjo?
No, played for Gonzaga.
Morrison.
Adam
He's
Morrison.
out of the league now, I think.
Oh, is he out of the league?
I think
Yeah.
so this year.
Well, that's what happens.
Yep.
He's coaching now.
Yep.
He ran up and down in college, and once you get to the NBA, if you can't adjust,
Yep.
and I think Okafor, I think I'd rather have a player that I can fix his defense than one who's set in a defense.
One thing to look at with Okafor that is a big positive is winning. He won on the high school level. He won on the international level on the under-18 team. He won at the college level. They won a championship.
He has the hands of a bear.
The one, I agree right there, and that he comes from a program and he's not selfish. I don't think he's all put the team first guy like that. And playing with Kobe Bryant this year, he's definitely going to need to do too.
I think where people are worried about their his defense is Randall. When Randall gets healthy, Randall's not a good defensive player either. So if you have your future front line both as bad defensive players, that might be a problem. Going back to what you said about D'Angelo Russell, that dude reminds me of a left-handed Russell Westbrook for some reason. He's got that same kind of attack mentality that Westbrook came out of UCLA with and has done well in the NBA level.
He is lanky and athletic.
Yeah, and he can shoot. I saw a rumor about that 2 pick also that I know you guys are Laker fans, so I wanted to ask you about this. It sounds like the Sacramento Kings are starting to dangle DeMarcus Cousins and Carl Landry in front of the Lakers for Jordan Clarkson, who was a rookie last year and was on the all-rookie team, Julius Randle, and that number 2 pick. If you're Mitch Kupchak, do you hang up the phone and laugh?
Yeah, if I was Mitch Kupchak, I'd much rather build my program than try to fit someone in.
If we could do Boogie Cousins straight up for the second pick, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
Maybe even someone else. But giving up Clarkson,
Randall, and the 2 pick.
Randall,
Yeah.
that's rough. I mean,
That's
granted, we played without Randall last year, but there's the hope. He's a strong dude. I like him. He plays hard. He's physical. So I definitely would like him on the team to see him. But Boogie, I mean, DeMarcus Cousins, a.k.a. Boogie, he's absolutely top 3 big men easy on every night. In the NBA.
Sacramento, I know the drought's hitting you guys really hard. I was up there this weekend. You're gonna have to be so thirsty.
Yeah, right. If I'm the Lakers, I say no, thank you. I'm gonna build with my young guys. I draft either Russell or Okafor and roll forward.
We'll go with a little league reference here. They're not trade raping us. All right, no trade rape, Sacramento. Sorry.
Exactly. So moving on to some of the other stuff
the
that's
Lakers
going on.
invented trade rape.
The last couple years have felt like that, right? For Laker fans.
Absolutely.
So some interesting news came out of Cleveland. Kevin Love today opted out of his contract, so it appears that he will listen to offers from other teams.
Lakers.
Yeah,
That would be good.
So if we get him, then we take Russell because then we have another big. Although, do him and Randall play the same spot? Is Love going to be a 3 and Randall 4?
I think Love's more of a stretch 4. You got to have, but I mean, you could run with Randall.
He's talented.
And yeah, you
can do things.
Right.
Love belongs in L.A.
Right, and look at how much small ball was played in the finals. You could roll with front line of Love, Randall, and Nick Young if they retain him, something like that. Because Young can play some 3. So
Clarkson, Kobe.
Yeah, there you
interesting.
Go. There you go. It will be interesting to see.
Defense will be a problem.
I'm going to throw my team in there. The Jazz picked 12th, and I'm hoping they pick Frank Kaminsky from Wisconsin. I think he'd be a perfect fit on our team.
You think that he would be perfect
Frank
in
Kaminsky
Utah?
sounds like a
It has
baller.
nothing to do with him being white, right?
It has nothing to do with
nothing
that.
to do with
I'm
that.
strictly
Just the
talking
fact that he's
about
a great player.
we
and
need
he
a
fit in
stretch
Utah's
4.
scheme, right? Is that what we're saying?
Here's my theory. Let me tell you my theory. The Utah Jazz need to draft talented guys that won't leave when they get to be free agents because it's Utah. So he would fit right there.
That name sounds like a bowler from Illinois.
It does.
He would be endeared by the fans, I believe,
absolutely.
just to say the least.
Absolutely. He can shoot. He can rebound. He's a good player. So I'm hoping he's
and
around.
he'll drive your daughters to Temple. It's cool.
There you go. There you go. So pretty nice U.S. Open this past weekend, huh?
Oh, man, that was pretty exciting golf.
It was exciting golf, not exciting greens.
Jordan Spieth is absolutely a beast. He's been on fire, and the fact that he was able to win that after being one of 5 guys ever to win back-to-back.
Yep.
Open, what was it before this? Then he won the Open. So
Yeah, well, he won Masters
and
and
then
now
the
the
Open
Open.
straight.
Yeah.
He has a chance to do something that the Slam. How many times has that been done?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah,
Not a whole lot. There's
all four
there's,
majors in the same year.
Right. So
he's got less than 3 weeks till the British.
Yep. Over at St. Andrews, which is a beautiful setting compared to this trash golf course that they played on over the weekend. There were complaints everywhere.
Well, it was ugly to watch. I mean, most people that didn't follow golf was wondering why the golf was brown and like, yellowish.
They said it was even bad. It was bad on TV, and then they said it was even bad to watch if you were there.
Well, I heard that it was really hard. Yeah, the lines of sight were not good.
Yeah.
And they have a train going by right next to the golf course.
That was
and
like
it actually was going through people like backswing, and Rory hit a shot, and it was right through his swing. It was when the train came through.
So, question: has anybody heard from Dustin Johnson?
He went on a binge.
Yeah, I think so. That was brutal.
Somebody should have a suicide watch on that guy. All he needed was to hit the original putt, and then he would have won.
Yep.
The next one he would have tied, and then instead he 3 putts
after
absolutely amateurish shot.
After hitting an absolutely gorgeous approach shot to get to 10 feet for the win, and
it's
he
literally like missing it's literally like missing a free throw, then a layup, and then finally hitting your second layup.
Exactly.
Like, that's in basketball terminology. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, exactly. That wasn't good. Another shout out real quick. The performance by Jason Day. This guy had vertigo on the golf course, and he's out there in heat, and he played well. I think he kind of caught up to him on the back nine on Sunday, though.
I mean, it's 10-mile walk on that course. It's a 10-mile walk up and down hills.
Yep.
And he was feeling sick before, and he has a problem with vertigo. I mean, he took a knee. He almost took a digger straight out.
Yeah.
So he was not doing well, and he still finished. He sucked it up. Like, most golfers I don't think would have done. They'd have tapped out real quick, but he was playing well. He didn't want to give up.
I have to agree there.
Get an IV afterwards, and he was good to go. He couldn't win it, but he balled out and made some good money.
Yep, he did.
Props to Jason Day on that.
Yeah, that was a good tournament. So hopefully he gets a major soon, because he's been close a lot of times lately.
Dustin Johnson, I hope you're not in a cocaine binge right now. We know you got busted for that back in the day. So let's keep your head clean, buddy.
Yeah, maybe the pressure was too much of what he's marrying Gretzky's daughter. Are they married yet?
Oh, so life's not too bad for him?
Yeah, not at all.
Let's look it up.
I think he'll be all right.
She's really hot and a really rich family, so he's doing all right there.
Hey, father-in-law, I didn't win. That's okay. I played for the Kings in the 80s.
Yeah, right.
You'll be all right.
I won a lot.
I'm the great one. So women's soccer kicking off still, right?
Yeah, we're in the quarterfinals. United States had a big scare against the major underdog, number 23 in the nation. No, number 28 in the nation, Colombia. And a lot of people were saying that the refs were on Colombia's side in the first half. I just don't think United States was playing like United States in the first half. Abby Wambach missed a penalty shot.
And they bounced back and scored right after that, though. Wasn't it? A couple minutes after?
A couple minutes after. Or 2 weeks ago, off the top Sports Girl of the Week, Alex Morgan scored this incredible off-angle goal that bounced off the goalie in high corner.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest here. Usually, I mean, I know women have been decent lately, but usually whenever I hear USA in soccer, I just see us getting our asses kicked. But the women's team looks like they have a legit shot this year to go all the way and take it. So I'm pretty excited, actually.
We're like Brazil in the men's team.
Yeah.
We're
They're
good.
solid. The women's team is looking really solid. I'm excited to watch them.
They got to pull their shit together. Seriously, they can't play the way they did. They're going to go against China, and it might work against China. But then they play the winner of Germany, France. They go against number 1 and number 3 in the world. The United States is number 2, I believe.
Does Hope Solo take her anklet off during the games and put it back on for alcohol after?
She hides it in her shin guard.
Just wondering there.
You have 2 people monitoring her movements. You have FIFA tracking her measurements, and then like Department of Justice.
Oh, she bet she's fun at the bar though.
Oh God, I bet she's fun in a lot of things. But we have our quarterfinals all set up tomorrow. No, Friday. 1 o'clock California time, Germany versus France.
Nice.
All right, we got a
at-
couple things to watch the next couple days here.
So
NBA
then-
draft, soccer.
I'm not leaving my couch. Then we have China, United States. That's at 4:30 on Friday. And then Saturday, Australia, Japan, which is going to be a great game. The last World Cup, United States lost to Japan in the shootout. And then England and Canada. And the goalie for England, Kelsey Fullerton
USA. Get
Oh,
ready
God.
for it. I'm pumped.
Yeah.
I have my stuff already.
Can't believe I'm saying that I'm pumped about soccer.
Yeah, that's the same
Something
thing
I
for
never
me.
ever thought I would say back in the day.
Same thing for me, brother.
I'll keep you guys updated.
Must be getting old or something.
So, Omaha.
Hey, Kelsey Fullerton didn't do anything in that
Yeah,
one.
they didn't do too well, but Virginia and Vanderbilt ended up
The Vs.
facing off against each other in the 3-game championship series, and Virginia pulled it out tonight.
Great series, by the way. I mean, if you want exciting college baseball, that was
It was.
incredible.
It was
Both
good stuff.
teams.
Hail to Virginia Cavaliers, the world champion, college
Yeah.
champions of baseball.
Hey,
this
some
year.
Cavaliers got a championship.
Ooh,
Nice.
how's that
Ooh.
feel, LeBron?
Yeah.
So
So
that's a good meme right there. Coming right now. We gotta think of one and put it out.
There's our off the top
Off the top meme
a
this week.
challenge. Make a Cavaliers championship meme that doesn't include Cleveland.
with all the LeBron haters, there's probably about 40 of them a minute for the last hour or so since the game ended a little while ago.
We also got to put a poll out on who everyone has on Aldo McGregor with now this injury news if it goes
Right.
on.
I don't think it
If it's
changes.
changed your mind at all. Hey, injuries are a real big, legitimate part of MMA, and if Aldo isn't 100%, man, which a lot of fighters, most fighters aren't 100%, but if he's at 75, 80, is he gonna fight? And is he better than Conor at that?
And what takes over first? Care of your future health or your pride?
Hey, he's never lost in the UFC. He lost his first fight, in his career, and then never lost since. So he's an 8-year run right now. He's a beast. So I can't wait to watch.
No, but I'm saying, what is the driving factor into getting him into that fight?
I mean, he's listening to Conor McGregor absolutely just rape him verbally every day. His mother, his country, everything you can say about him. He's saying horribly.
Just told him he has female problems.
We just went 2 for 2 on dropping the word
He
rape.
just said he
tonight.
had a vagina. You know what I'm saying? I mean, politely and PC way, he just said he has a pussy. Baseball.
So going back real quick to that College World Series, Virginia's win was their 45th win. That's the fewest since 1968 when the USC Trojans did that. So just an interesting stat, I thought. to
That's
throw out
crazy.
there. Yeah.
Do it when it counts.
The
It don't matter what you
fewest
do at the
wins
beginning;
last
it's
year.
how you finish.
Absolutely, and
It's
that
how
seems
you
to be
finish.
the world of baseball. The team
I've
that gets
got
hot.
some trivia, and I think Josh has
Yep.
some trivia.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I'm going back to College World Series, and if I don't want to wait till next year to bring this up again. So I'll let Josh do his because I got to go through my bookmarks to find it.
We're talking about the Angels. I know Albert Pujols has been on fire lately. Not last night, but 12-2. I think the Angels lost 12-3. But the Mike Trout here is doing something that has not been done that many times by Angels before. 3 times in a row, starting for the All-Star game. There's been 3 other Angels in history who have done that or better. Can you name those 3 Angels? 3 All-Star games in a row starting.
First one I would throw out there is Rod Carew.
Correct. That
That's
was
a good one.
in my mind, the easiest one because he is such a
Right.
great hitter.
Right.
Second,
Live 11.
negative.
I'll go Bobby Grich.
No,
No.
you're missing one of the most famous Angels
Nolan Ryan.
who wore glasses.
Reggie Jackson.
There we go.
Oh, how
Reggie.
do we forget Mr. October?
Right.
That was going to be my next one.
All right.
One more, huh?
One more. He was probably my favorite Angel of all time. So that means he's semi-current.
Tim Salmon.
Tim Salmon and me do not get along. We've had a little argument
That's
before.
funny. I met him at a tire shop one time, and he was a complete jerk.
I agree completely. He
I was
is
his
an
kid
okay.
camp counselor. He loved me.
Really?
Well,
Yeah,
I
so,
asked
like-
him. I asked him. if he was coaching for the Angels while he was trying to make his comeback and stuff, and he did not like that call at all.
I was sitting at the tire shop. I had a sports page with me, and he looks over. I noticed it was him, and he looks over and he goes, "Can I read your sports page?" And he was on the disabled list at the time. And I looked at him and I go, "Why? You want to read about yourself?" And he goes, "Ha ha, very funny." And he just walked away.
Wait, you guys insulted the guy twice, and you call him the asshole. I take care of his kid all day.
I was not
We have
being
a good
insulting.
experience.
I literally was at an SC football game, and I just heard a rumor that he was going to be coaching that year. And so he was right there. I asked him firsthand. So,
Yeah,
hey, are you going to be coaching? I was being nice. I thought he'd be a good coach, maybe. But he asked him.
I was
I'm
just joking with
playing,
him.
actually.
I was just joking with him, and he didn't like it. And
By the way, he
away.
didn't play much after that. He sucked.
Maybe he was at the tire shop because he got a flat tire that morning or something like that. So he, was
He helped us win
salty.
a championship, so he's always solid in my book.
But is he the answer or no?
No.
Oh,
he's
dude. He just called you. He's
not.
Tim Salmon's on the phone.
line.
Adrian, what's up?
Troy Gloss.
No, it's not Troy Gloss. It is not. It is not a pitcher.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's not a pitcher.
Outfielder.
Garrett Anderson.
Good guess, but it's
no.
Vladimir Guerrero.
Oh,
Vlad.
Big
That's
Daddy
my
Vladdy.
favorite angel
Yeah,
ever,
man.
man.
The guy
I'm
who-
so excited we got him from Montreal.
The guy who could hit home runs off of pitches that
On a
bounced
bounce.
in front of
On
the
a
ball.
bounce, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, isn't that kind of illegal?
Yeah, that guy was a beast. That guy was a beast.
He was fun to watch play baseball.
Yep,
He-
great arm, great player.
arm.
Yep.
Always balled out. It's just no batting gloves ever.
Yep.
That was a great thing.
Yeah, he was a throwback for sure.
All right, your trivia. Did
All
you
right.
get there?
For some reason, it is no longer in my. So I'm looking it up as we talk. But there's only been two players who have been in the Little League World Series, College World Series, and Major League World Series, and only one of them has won all three.
Derek Jeter.
No.
I know there's a Yankee. Was it A-Rod?
Nope.
I have no idea.
Okay, so one guy who's been in all three but didn't win all three was Veritek.
Okay.
And then shoot.
Oral Hershiser.
No, that'd be awesome. I'm gonna have to get back. Shit, I had this all set.
All right, you fail our
All right, so let's
trivia quiz tonight.
Well, while you're while you're finding your answer to that, we'll do
Failure of the week.
let's
goes
do
to
some
Adrian.
let's do some Pete Rose talk. What do you think of the Pete Rose news this week? That they have some information.
Say it ain't so, Pete.
Yeah, I say the same thing. They say that they've uncovered some old information that he bet on the Reds. When
You know what? Did he bet against them or did he bet on them?
What it looks like is they say he bet
On them. I've
Yeah.
got zero problem with that, to be honest with you. And I mean, I understand that you have to have. They're holding you to a
Damn it.
certain standard and all that stuff. But for me, you can't keep the guy with 5,000 hits plus
Yeah.
out of the Hall of
Yeah,
Fame, or it's
it
not a real
doesn't-
Hall of Fame. He's the greatest hitter that we've ever seen,
Right.
basically.
It doesn't. In my eyes, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame based on what he did on the field. Where I see it as a problem is he was running up some big debt with the Mafia. So even if he was betting on his team, what's to stop them to coming to him one day and going, "All right, we want to bet some way here. Why don't you overuse your bullpen?" Something like that.
It's
It-
Shoeless
but-
Joe Jackson.
Yeah,
There you
right.
go. It's he
Right.
batted over 400,
In the
and they
World Series,
they
yep.
still banned him. And
Yep.
I think both those guys should be in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
But I think
I agree.
if we're gonna start bad mouthing or looking down upon players who bet, I mean, you got to start with like Michael Jordan too.
no one
Yeah,
gambles.
Jordan,
No one
you
gambles in
could
the NBA or NFL. I mean, come on.
All right, I got my answer.
All right, well, so we were at
Ed-
Veritech.
Ed Vosberg
Oh,
Okay, so I would never
Yeah.
get to see one of those guys.
Yeah, I would have
played
never
for
got Vosberg.
Tucson, Arizona in the '73 Little League World Series. He pitched a one-hitter against Birmingham when he was at Michigan, for the University of Arizona, and then he played in the Marlins '97.
Yep.
And then Veritek, he played all three, but he lost the College World Series.
Wow. So moving on from Pete Rose, we had Max Scherzer this week throw a no-hitter.
Almost a perfect
No,
game.
Max
until he
Scherzer
beamed
threw
somebody.
a freaking perfect game, if you ask me.
If he didn't beam somebody,
If that guy didn't lean into the pitch.
Yeah, Jose Tabata with 2 strikes, kind of put his elbow out there, and it clipped him on the elbow, and that
It
That's
reminds
baseball,
me.
right? It's a chief.
It reminds me of when Oral Hershiser had that 56 inning scoreless streak.
And what, they bunted to get it ahead?
No, they bases loaded. Oral, I almost said Kershaw. Oral Hershiser hits the batter, and everyone's like, "Yeah, streak over." He's
Right. Well, that was because it was in San Diego, I think, when it happened to
Right.
the Dodger rival.
But the umpire said you didn't make an attempt to get out of the way. In fact, you leaned in on it. The at bat looks very similar.
Yeah. There's an unwritten rule there with no hitters and perfect games that you don't bunt to get on. You don't try to get hit by a pitch. The pitch was borderline. It was inside, but the natural movement should be to kind of turn away from it. Instead,
You
he
don't
kind of
lean-
threw
you
his
don't
elbow
put
down
your elbow
into
directly
it.
down.
Right. So tough for him that he didn't finish the perfect game, but a no-hitter is a pretty sweet consolation prize.
How do you can't even regulate that. You can't tell a batter who's been hitting the elbow like umpteen million times. You can't wear a pad that big.
Right.
It gives you an advantage.
Right.
I mean, Barry Bonds,
He had that armor on there.
oh my God, it looked like a catcher's shin guard.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of the Giants, I wanted to throw out a little bit of sad news this week about Darryl Hamilton.
Oh, read that.
Oof.
Yeah, that was brutal. 50 years old, killed in a murder-suicide by his ex-girlfriend or ex-girlfriend.
She's ex-girlfriend now.
14-month-old child in the house when it happened. I mean, that's just brutal. Darryl had just started
It was
on
her child too,
MLB
correct?
Network. Yeah, it was their child together.
Yeah,
And
I think he was telling her that he was leaving,
Yep.
and bang, bang, no,
Yep.
you're not.
Yep, brutal. And it turns out that she had called her ex-husband after shooting Darryl Hamilton and said, call the police, there's been an emergency over there, and that's when she turned the gun on herself. Anyway, that's a really sad story, and he was a real good guy. I mean, 291 career average and 13 seasons in the Major League Baseball. So
And just an all-around good guy.
yeah, he was. A lot of the stories I heard people talking about how much of it, he was one of those guys that when he came in the room, he was always smiling and he was a great teammate and that kind of stuff.
So he was the Josh of baseball.
Yeah, there you go.
Unlike our good friend P. Diddy, Sean Puffy Combs, who is a shitty
How do we not
person
bring this
and took a kettlebell to somebody this
Yeah.
week. So he's sitting in jail right now.
Yeah, not
Or
good.
actually might have bailed out when he had money, but he assault and battery with a deadly weapon at UCLA. He says he was defending his son's honor or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
He was self-defense.
I heard he sent a text to the coach before that and said, "I'm gonna kill you, bitch." Smiley face.
I
Nice.
mean, just, he does that. Is he capable of killing Biggie and Pac? You never know when you start seeing stuff like this.
He's had a lot of problems throughout his career. So do you think he's a better fighter than Adrian Broner?
I mean, all I gotta say is I would not want to get hit by a kettlebell.
Absolutely.
I work out with those things, and they are
Absolutely.
really big and hard and strong. And
Yep.
you
I
can't
hate when
win
I
when you
kind
get hit by
of
that.
trip over one a little bit.
You're not gonna win if you get in a fight with a kettlebell.
Yeah, and he apparently, from what I heard on the radio this week, he swung it at one of the interns at the school. It wasn't the coach. He was
The strength coach, by the way,
beefing
not
with,
the
yeah.
special teams coach,
Right.
and not the the
Right.
DB coach. It was the strength coach, who are usually pretty big and badass. Which
Yeah.
I saw theirs. He's not that big actually, but I'm sure
Yeah,
he's
but
like,
that's
in
still
shape
one of
and
my
all that.
kinesiology people. We all stick together, so.
his kid was given a half-ass effort. The guy sent him off the field, and that's what ended
Do
up
you-
happening.
Do you think his son loses his scholarship over this after the investigation?
Did his son do anything wrong, or was it his dipshit dad?
Well, the way I heard it on the radio from there was a guy on the radio that writes for UCLA's website, and he had eyewitness accounts that when they came back, the kid went into the coach's office. The coach said, "I'm on the phone. I'll talk to you when I get done," and that sent P. Dummy into a fit. So
Yeah, I hope he ends up getting jail time out of this. The less P. Diddy in my life, the better.
and then I heard a stupid question on the radio where they said, "Do you think that this will now affect the way that Snoop's kid is treated around campus? Because his dad's a rapper too." It's like, what does that have to do with the?
Yeah, why you gotta bring Snoop in?
Right, and Snoop's kid is like a 5-star prospect, and P. Diddy's kid is like a third-string corner that's like 5'7" or something like that.
$1.65.
You know what's funny,
Yeah.
though? P. Diddy's kid getting, like, the scholarship. Remember a couple years back when he was first, being looked at,
Mhm.
and everyone's like, should you take this scholarship away? And I said, no, he's earned it.
Right.
The kid's earned it.
I mean,
This is something where you're like, okay, maybe he doesn't get it. Maybe your parents' attitude and the detriment it could bring to the team, that can make you lose a scholarship.
If you guys had the money that Snoop Dogg or P. Diddy had, would you let your kid have a scholarship, or would you pay for a school and
I'd
give
let
it to
him have
some
a
kid who
scholarship.
deserved it?
That's a great point. That's a great point. I
If you had
couldn't
them-
answer that without being actually in the situation, but I can see your point of I've got, he spends that on bottles of
Dawn in one weekend. You know, it's like, let some kid from the ghetto who wouldn't get a college education without it to get it.
It's a
You know,
great
that's-
point.
I don't know. That's the way I feel.
That's a
I think if my
fantastic
son
point.
earned it, I'd let him keep it. If I'm gonna quote like the unquotable, I can bring up Tom Likas, who says, "Once your kid's 18 and in college, you don't owe them that. You don't owe them paying for their school, and they got to find a way to."
If I had the money that those guys have, I would not allow my kid to take a scholarship from somebody who needs it more.
Right. More money, more problems. There was another fight that we talked about last week that the boxing match, Sean Porter and Adrian Broner.
Free on NBC.
Yeah, it was
Way
cool.
better
it
than
was
the
cool
Mayweather fight.
coverage. Yeah, it was cool coverage the way they did that too. I think that NBC thing is going to be successful.
Definitely worth watching.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, you're right, Adrian. Broner was a little bit Mayweather-ish in the way that he kind of handled the fight. It didn't look like he wanted to throw down with Porter, but
It was almost like, I mean, Winky Wright or someone who just, but without the offense.
Yep.
He threw out soft punches most of the time until he got pissed in the 12th round. And then he just floored him
caught
with a
him with
great
that,
shot.
Yeah, like
But it was embarrassing watching that guy fight.
yeah, it had too much grabbing. Every time anything action happened, he just grabbed and grabbed and grabbed.
The referee's got to be. He did take a point away,
He did.
but it's got to be earlier and often if
Yeah.
you're going to keep doing it, especially after you've been warned and warned and
Yeah.
warned, and people just keep seeing it. It's boring to watch.
Yeah, I want to say he warned him twice, and I felt like he could have taken a point away at least 2 rounds before he did.
And he looks like he's in pretty damn good shape. Why do you get to do that? He moved up in weight. He felt the power, and he doesn't like it. And if he doesn't drop in weight, he's going to get beaten down.
I don't like what he said after the fight too in the ring when he said the thing about the guy's girlfriend, and the guy had just beat him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll take his girlfriend out to dinner too if he wants." And it's just like, dude, show some respect to the guy who just beat you.
Yeah, I lost a lot of respect for Bronner this week. His fighting ability, his talk after the fight, saying that he won. I mean, he landed significantly less punches and a lot less power punches.
What was the one line? Everybody in here will take an autograph and a picture of me, or something like that. It was just like, dude, show just a little bit of class.
Rub people the wrong way.
Yeah.
His stock is plummeting as we speak right now.
I think so. I'd like to see Porter fight him again and knock him out the next time.
Yeah, Porter showed his true grit in that fight, but he did get popped in the 12th round.
He did.
That was an
He did.
unbelievably clean left.
Yep.
It was beautiful. It was a thing of beauty.
And you could see when that was the first time in 27 fights that Porter had hit the canvas, and you could see the shock in his face when he was like, "Oh, wow, wait a minute, I'm on the ground."
he got caught.
Yeah,
straight up.
He did. He
did
did.
not expect him to come without much pop on that shot in the 12th round.
Yep. Yep.
It was a thing of beauty. I mean, I give it up. Mr. Brunner was frustrating to watch and disappointing to watch, and 99% of it, that was a beautiful, beautiful shot.
Yep.
Give him props.
Yep. So
Now start doing it from the first round on like that.
right.
You know?
Exactly.
Instead of holding and barely just touching for points.
Yeah. Exactly. So going into next week, we'll have some World Cup update. We should have what will be the semifinals next week.
And hopefully U.S. will be there. And our new off-the-top sports girl of the week, Kristen Press, number 23. Adrian Gonzalez's number. Everyone else knows it as some, basketball player. I can't remember who that is. But, yeah, she's a looker, too. She looks Latin to me, but her name's Kristen Press, and I'm impressed with Press.
More reason to watch soccer.
I think she scored the second goal
US.
against Colombia this week. So
Nice.
she earned it. Because if not, it would have. There's a couple of other players that would have. We have enough hot girls on our team where we could go weeks with them. So
You know what? We got to go back here. We didn't talk about one athlete that we did talk about last week, and I would have won money if DraftKings was offering money for Tiger Woods to finish last place.
Oh, Tiger. What did I predict? I believe I predicted him to be at plus 20.
And he was plus 16.
God, that's pretty close.
That was awful. I mean,
It's okay. He went home,
And that wasn't really a joke.
dried his eyes with $100 bills,
this
and
is true.
wiped his nose with $1 million blow, and had sex with $1,000 hookers.
$10,000.
This is
Oh yeah.
true.
Well, I mean, he had an off day. You can go. You could set your bar down low if you need
Yeah,
to.
he had to raise up for that one, I think. He
Yeah,
needed some,
I think he had to
coddling.
finish a little higher if he wanted the $1,000.
Yeah, I made sure I saw him start both days, and both days the wheels came off
It
like
is-
right off the bat.
It is
was-
amazing confidence in an athlete and
Yes.
what it does, because he is not that much different physically, but mentally it is just mush.
And what's interesting is he started this with his rise to power and fame in the golf game. This group of kids like Spieth and Day and these guys were all
grew up
growing
on
up
him.
at 10 years old, going, I want to do that. I want to get to that level. And now he's having a hard time, staying at their level.
He's going Kobe Bryant, man. Body's breaking down
Yep.
on him a lot quicker than it did on a lot of other people.
Yep. Shout out to my pops. When I was a huge Tiger Woods fan about 10, 15 years ago, my dad was like, his back in his mid-30s is just going to go out on him. And that's exactly what's happening to him.
Back and knee.
He over the years, he's up there in that, dominant athlete that we've ever seen. Him and Michael Jordan
For
at
sure.
the top
His
of their
10-year
game.
run was as good as anybody's of all. I mean, one of the best of all time
Yeah,
I've seen.
absolutely.
Did I ever tell you guys the story of when I met Tiger Woods?
No.
My brother was a cross-country runner for Mater Dei. Went to St. Mary's on a scholarship. And every year Mater Dei would go to the Stanford Invitational for high school runners. It's like hundreds, just like about 100 high school teams all racing at the same time. It's on Stanford's golf course. And Stanford had a booth. And there's this little nerdy, half white, half black kid sitting in the booth. And there's a Sports Illustrated with him swinging his club. And it's like, next big thing, ? And I'm just, I'm looking for like free pins and stuff so I can write in class. I'm like, I'm in high school at the time. And I look over on the wall. Oh, that's you. Yeah, that's me. Come on. So you're pretty good, huh? Yeah, I'm pretty good. Yeah. So you're going to go pro? I think that's the plan. I hope that works out. Super nice. Shook his hand. I was like, well, good luck. I'll be rooting for you. But, yeah, it was. He's kind of a different person now, but that voice hasn't really changed much.
$300 million later, he's changed a little bit.
I think every week you need to do a little Tiger impersonation. That was pretty impressive.
That was.
It's really embarrassing when my dad's at my game all the time going, ka-ching, ka-ching.
You could almost use your Tiger as a Tyson, because that was sounding a little bit Mike Tyson.
I just got to get a little bit more lispier.
how
How messed up is whoever invented the word lisp, put an L and an S and a P in it?
Just not nice. Not nice at all.
We'll end on that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's
That's
get
the
outta
show.
here.
That's the show for tonight.
Nice.
For Off the Top Sports, my name is Adrian Gonzalez.
Good night, folks. I'm Brian Belcito.
This is Josh House, and we are out.